Daf HaShavua on Thursday morning. Chavtes Amud Beis. I hope everyone's enjoying their Pesach vacation and doing what they should be doing in preparation for Pesach. For sure, learning and tuning in to Daf HaShavua is great. Thank you very much. And we are on Chavtes Amud Beis, Mace face, smack in the middle of the wide lines, in the middle of the line. Mace face, we had a Machlekes Rav and Shmuel. What we lane on Parsha Shkolim. For Parsha Shkolim, we personally today lane Kisisa. That's the sheet of Shmuel. Rav holds we lane the same psukim as Reish Chodesh Shabbos Menei Sol Marta Lem Skavani Lachmi. So Frek the Gemara, Meisvei. Reish Chodesh Shabbos Shechali Yis B'Shabbos. Reish Chodesh Shabbos that falls out on Shabbos. Karim Parsha Shkolim, we read Parsha Shkolim Umaftir B'Yad HaKoyin, and we lane the Haftarah from Yad HaKoyin, which also speaks about giving money toward the upkeep of the Mikdash. So it's affecting our Bisham Mandamar Kisisa. It's good according to the Mandamar. It says we lane Kisisa, which is Shmuel. I knew the Maftir by Yad HaKoyin. That's why we lane from Yad HaKoyin, which also speaks about giving money toward the Mikdash, toward the upkeep. The Damile, it's similar. The Chsiv, like it says in the pasuk in there in Malachim Beis, when we were laying Yada Kesef Nefashis Erkoi, the worth of each person, giving the worth of his money, the money of his worth. It also speaks about giving money toward the Mikdash. El Laman Amar is Kabani Lachmi, but according to the Man Amar, it's a Shiloh with that, how you touch up, how you translate Kesef Nefashis Erkoi. But that would be the most basic way. The Targum learns like that. Elaman Amar is Karbani Lachmi, but according to the Manda Amar, which is Rav, that learns that we lane Karbani Lachmi, which speaks about Karbanis, doesn't speak about the Shkolim Midami. Is that similar? And for the Gemara answers Dami. It is similar. Rav Tavi answered that since the Shkolim come in order to buy the Karbanis, so those two topics overlap. The giving of the money overlaps the topic of the Karbanis. Meisvei Frek Mar another Shaila. If let's say Parsha Shkolim falls out right near the Parsha that we lane it in, so therefore if it's right around Kisisa and we're about to read Parsha Shkolim, whether or not Kisisa was right before, whether it was right after, you read it for Kaifan and you read it again, don't worry about it. We could read it one Shabbos and we could read it the next Shabbos. So it's good according to the Mandam that says that we lane Kisisa as Shkolim. That's how it's able to fall out at that time of year around Purim time. But according to the Mandam Rav, that says that it's Karbani Lachmi Lishai, which is the Parsha of Pinchas. So the Parsha of Pinchas, we know we lane in the summer. The summer doesn't fall out around Purim time. Mi Misrami Ba'u Zimna doesn't fall out at that time. So therefore you see that Shmuel must be right. And for the Gemara answers in the Bnei Marava, for the people in Eretz Yisrael, we finish the cycle of the laning every year. But the Bnei Marava, the people in Eretz Yisrael, used to be the Maskil Deraisa B'Tlash, where they used to finish off the Torah laning in 3 years. So when they finish off in 3 years, so it could come out that in one of the years, Shkolim is going to come out in Parshas Pinchas would come out around Purim time. Tani Shmuel, we learned a Braisa like Shmuel, straight out. Reish Chodesh Adar Shechali Yis B'Shabbos Karin Kisisa Maftir B'Yad HaKoyin. That Reish Chodesh Adar falls out on Shabbos, we read Kisisa and we do the Haftarah of Yad HaKoyin straight up like Shmuel that we lane Kisisa. Amar Yitzchak Nafka Reish Chodesh Adar Shechali Yis B'Shabbos. Now the Gemara moves on. Amar Yitzchak Nafka Reish Chodesh Adar Shechali Yis B'Shabbos. Reish Chodesh Adar falls out on Shabbos. Meitzi and Shalish Teiros. You take out 3 Sifrei Torah. You read one of the parsha, and you read one for Reish Chodesh, and you read one Kisisa for Shkolim. Yitzchak Nafka said a similar case That's by Parsha Shkolim, by Purim time. And then we have the same thing by Chanukah. Rosh Chodesh Teves, Shechaliyos b'Shabbos. Rosh Chodesh Teves, which always falls out in the middle of Chanukah. Shechaliyos b'Shabbos, if it fell on Shabbos, maybe in Sholish Torahs, you take out 3 Sifrei Torahs. The Karim Ben Echad Binyan Shoyam, you read one of the Parsha, Echad B'Reish Chodesh, one of Reish Chodesh, Echad b'Chanukah, one for Chanukah. So it seems over there, the Gemara is now going to question, why do Rabbi Yitzchak Nafka have to say both those halachos? If we see that by one, we take out 3 Sifrei Torah, when it was the Parsha, Reish Chodesh, and whatever that extra thing was for the day, either it was Shkolim or Chanukah. If you only say it by one, then when we get to the next Yantiv, we'll know that you do the same thing. Utricha, we need him to say both. He needed to say both. Diet Mar Baha, if he said it by one, Baha Kam Rabbi Yitzchak. I would have said, if he only said it by Chanukah, I would have said that's where Rabbi Yitzchak says 3. Aval Bahach, but maybe by Shkolim, you're only going to take 3 Sifrei Torah out. Maybe he paskins like Rav. Kiraz Firli, the Amar Parsha Shkolim is Karban Lachmi. That maybe he holds that, like Rav, that holds Parsha Shkolim we read as Karban Lachmi, which is the same as Reish Chodesh. And since it's the same Reish Chodesh, that would only need 1 Sefer Torah. So we would only need 1 Sefer Torah for Shabbos and 1 Sefer Torah for both Shkolim and Reish Chodesh. Ubishtei Torah Sagi, with 2 Sefer Torah would be enough. Kamashman, therefore he wanted to tell us by Purim, by Shkolim, that you take out 3 that he passes like Shmuel. So why didn't you just tell us the first halacha by Shkolim, and you won't have to tell us the halacha, or the first, but actually it's probably the second. Why didn't you just tell us the halacha by Shkolim, and then you wouldn't have to tell us the halacha by Chanukah? And for the Gemara Chatam Michal Chaverta Itmar, you're right. Really, Rabbi Yitzchak Nafka only said his din only on Adar, and his Talmidim learned it that he would also say it by Rosh Chodesh Teves. They said it in his name, but really he did only say it by one. Itmar was stated Rosh Chodesh Teves Chaliyos B'Chol. If Rosh Chodesh Teves falls out during the week, which means Chanukah, Amar Rabbi Yitzchak Nafka. Changed it to Rabbi Yitzchak Nafka, which the Gemara is going to anyway say in a minute. Karu Tlasa, Reish Chodesh. You have 4 aliyahs. On Chanukah, usually you would have 3 aliyahs, but because of Reish Chodesh, you have 4 aliyahs. Kari Tlasa, you read the first 3 Reish Chodesh. You lay in for Reish Chodesh. V'chad b'Chanukah, and the last one you do for Chanukah. Rav Dimi de min Haifa Omar, and Rav Dimi from Haifa said, Karu Tlasa b'Chanukah, you read 3 for Chanukah, v'chad b'Reish Chodesh, and 1 for Reish Chodesh. Amar Ramani says, Kavasid Rabbi Yitzchak Nafka Mistavra. I logically hold like, I feel that Rabbi Yitzchak Nafka is more Mistavra, more logical. Why? What does Rabbi Yitzchak Nafka say? Rabbi Yitzchak Nafka says you do 3 aliyahs for Reish Chodesh, 1 for Chanukah. The Tadir, Sheina Tadir, Tadir Kaidim. We know we say that when something is more common, the more common comes first. So since the more common comes first, you would lay in the first 3 for Reish Chodesh, which is more common, and only the last one you do for Chanukah. Obviously, whatever you're laying first, you have to lay for 3 aliyahs. You don't stop it. And then for the 4th aliyah, you lay the last one. Amar Rav Avin. Kavase, the Rav Dimi Mistav. Rav Avin says the opposite. I hold like Rav Dimi, logically. Migarm Lervi Shiavoi. What caused the 4th aliyah? Until then, the other days of Chanukah, you laying 3 aliyahs during the week. The 4th aliyah is only laying because of Reish Chodesh. Therefore, it makes sense that the 4th one's on Reish Chodesh. What's the halacha? Rabbi Yosef says, you don't look at Reish Chodesh, you do that last. Rabbi says you don't look at Chanukah, you do that last. The halacha is that you don't look at Chanukah. Kol Iker. You don't look at Chanukah, and that is the halacha. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and the Siddharim should go well, and we'll see you, Mitzvah Hashem, next week for more Daf Shavua, and Mitzvah Hashem for 99 seconds on Kriyas Yamsuf.